So out here in Santa Cruz, California with Brandon Howard, aka Belo Brando.
Yeah.
What's up, man? I came out here to ask you a little bit about what the fuck you do.
What up, what up? Thanks for the time. Just fucking live the dream in Santa Cruz. I work, I skate, chill, play video games.
I seen you just went on a skate trip in Hawaii.
Oh yeah.
Is that where you just came back from?
Yeah, I just came back from Maui.
Nice. How was that?
Oh dude, it was sick. It was like my first time getting out there like that by myself.
Yeah.
So my cousin just moved there.
Did you go to get skate footage or did you go for fun?
I mean, honestly, anywhere I travel, like I'm gonna bring my board, so like I'm gonna hopefully get something while I'm there.
Yeah.
Check out streets, parks. But I didn't go there set out to skate. I went there to visit my cousin and get out of the cruise and go swim in that water. It's good.
How long have you been skating for?
Dude, I started skating in about 98, so getting close to about 20 years, maybe 20 years, 21. I think that's right, if my math's right.
What drew you to skating?
Dude, I had two older brothers, and like pretty much at the time when I was younger, I was just doing whatever they were doing, you know? If they wanted to ride bikes, it was like bikes were the shit. Rollerblading, like that was tight too, but like they liked skating, and there was something about it, I don't know. I guess, like as far back as I can remember, I remember awing up my first curb and just not getting it, not understanding it, and I was just drawn to that, like, almost that, like, frustration of, like, I gotta figure this out, and just the feeling of being on it looked tight, just really thinking it was tight. It was cool.
Were you naturally pretty good?
I don't know, like, I think I just naturally enjoyed it. I think anytime you enjoy something a lot, I think you kind of progress in it. Yeah, once I got up that curb, it was like, oh, it's on, like, I get it, it clicked, and I was like, dude, let's do this. We had this like fire curb. It was like a speed bump up that like met a fire curb, and so you could literally just like roll on it to grinding it. And I remember those memories were the best. Like we just wax the hell out of it and like just roll onto it and grind. And so that's kind of some of the first experiences with like what I liked the most about it. Yeah, I moved in '98, a little bit after I started skating, to Belo.
So, Belo is your nickname. How'd that come about?
Just kind of skating with the homies that I grew up with in Belo. You know, Belo became like the nickname for it. My homies called me Brando. So I just kind of became this like Belo Brando thing and like just kind of ran with it. Also, like my homie Dougie Fresh and I, like we had a group in high school called the Alter Egos, and we would just rap.
Straight out of Belo?
Oh, yeah. That's right, straight out of Belo.
Gangster.
I guess it's like a little small town hero kind of mind of it. Like, it'd be sick to put Belo on the map somehow, you know?
So, where's some of your favorite places to skate at?
Dude, honestly, my favorite place to skate, not only because of the history, but because of what there is to skate there, is Santa Cruz High. I think manuals are my favorite.
That big Manny pad?
Yeah,
that stage? Yeah.
The funny thing about it is, too, is like growing up, when like before I could even like, my parents would let me like take the bus out to the cruise from Belo. Like I knew about Santa Cruz High, and that's when the stage was taller. I think it was red. But I mean, like that place got assessed by like so many OGs from like Israel Forbes, Ron Whaley, Matty Contreras, like all these dudes. Like there would just be so many insane sessions. And like I had a homie in high school named Reese Logan. I started taking the bus out with him, and that's where he liked to go. And so he was like a pretty technical skater. So I think that's like kind of where my kind of like my love for that place came to, because there's like so much technical stuff you can do there. I mean, there's ledges, there's some stairs, but mostly manuals. Like manuals were my favorite thing to do.
Would you say that's your favorite style of skating, manual tricks? Are you like a rail guy? Are you a curve guy?
I mean,
a half pipe skater?
Right, transition.
What's your favorite thing to skate?
Favorite thing? I mean, personally, like, I prefer not to get hurt. So, like, lower impact stuff is ideal. So, manuals, like, there's something about being in the middle of a nose manual or something, and you get, like, a flip out of it, whatever, that feels so good. But, like, the skating that like I gravitated towards and like really enjoyed watching as a kid was like stair skating. Yeah. So I think originally a lot of my fuel was towards jumping down stairs, and so I did that for a long time. I can skate rails. I get scared of rails for sure. Like kind of as I've gotten older, like if I am going to try to push myself on something, like I almost would prefer to do a rail now, just because like I kind of understand them a little bit better, and just hucking down stairs is pretty damn hard on your body.
Yeah.
So if you can just like get onto a rail, ride it down, like it's a lot less like impact than just hucking down something, you know. But I think manual skating is my favorite because I feel like it has the longest longevity. Like you can do it the longest. I feel like kind of.
What's your biggest stair set?
The biggest thing I tried to ollie was the 20 stair at the UCSC.
Oh, wow.
And I just got beanked off the ground. I bailed. I kicked out. I only tried it once, and I was just heavy. It was a big one too.
What about the Scotts Valley High?
Scotts Valley High 15, man. That was like I was actually the first person, as far as I know, to ride away from it. Like some people got served on that thing.
It's got a big crack before the first stair set, so it's almost like a 16.
Yeah,
you got to ollie early.
Totally, there's a big crack. There's the run up to it is kind of funky. It's like a straightaway and then a big turn and then a straight into it. It's just kind of, and dude, when that thing I remember like going to the top, like right when you get to the stairs, the whole thing just goes. It just gets like, it got like 10 times bigger, I swear to God. But
so you smashed on that.
Yeah, I got an ollie. I was pretty hyped. I ended up getting in a Strange Notes video for NHNS. But the biggest I switch ollied was a 14, the Santa Monica 14. I actually have a chunk of the stat that in a little tin can that has some graffiti and shit on it.
So where else have you traveled to skate? I know you said you take your board with you everywhere, and like I rode out with homies across country to skate. Like where else have you traveled to?
Well, the furthest east I went was to Georgia. I actually didn't skate when I was there, but I skated in Puerto Vallarta. I've gone up as far as Washington. Pretty much traveled the whole West Coast, north and south. You know, from LA, San Diego, Reno. But that's, about it. Spent a couple trips cruising through Wyoming. But that's why that Hawaii trip was so tight for me. It was like my first time on my own. I rented a car, did all this stuff, flew by myself, and like it was like a perfect kind of destination. That's, still in the States, so.
Where are you planning to travel next?
Dude, my big trip that I've really wanted to do for a long time is go to Barcy.
Barcelona?
Go to Spain and skate Macba before they shut that place down. I would love to go there. I've heard great things from the people, the food, just the whole all-around environment.
What's the biggest trick you've landed? What is the dopest trick you're just most proud of? Doesn't even have to be like the most technical or anything like that.
Just the one that just juiced me up the most. I was always pretty hyped on that switch ollie, just because that's a pretty iconic stair set. I mean, trying the 20 was, pretty exciting to at least fuck with that. There's a couple. Probably one of my favorites. A nollie nose grind and nollie crooked grind at the Seaside High 9. And that was a dream trick. And like anytime I've done a trick like that I'm really hyped on, I keep the board. So I got that board stashed somewhere.
Sick.
But it's just a reminder, I think the tricks that like I've been the most scared to do. I got a trick coming out in the Skateworks video that I'm pretty happy with, that I put some work in.
What's your worst injury you've gotten skating?
When I was in like a freshman in high school, it was like the first week of school, I fucking rolled my, I just like blew my ankle. I wish I could say it was totally skating. It had a skateboard deck involved, but I was jumping off a log pile onto a deck and missed I don't really know how it happened, but I just completely folded my ankle under the log. So I like snapped my tibia, my growth plate, had to get a couple pins. I've had some pretty gnarly hematomas, like some insane hippers and swellos that are just like ridiculous. Over the time of skating, I think the biggest thing now that I deal with is my knee, my right knee. I basically have blasted like all the cartilage out of my knee. So it's all bone on bone. For now, I need like a full knee reconstruction.
So you've been doing this for a minute, man. And like I just remember you were always one of the better skaters out of the group that we all skated with.
That was a tight click too.
Yeah, it was cool. I look back at pictures and I'm like, man, those were the years. Like
I got a photo of me like frontside smithing the tailgate,
and I'm chilling.
And you're chilling and you're tall as fuck in the background. It's so tight. Yeah.
So are you sponsored?
Yeah, I have a couple of Flow sponsorships that are pretty tight. There was a time where like I did a little bit more with certain sponsors or traveled more. But you know, the last couple of years, it's been a pretty like low profile sponsorship in a way I call it. Just it's really cool. It's a blessing to have any sort of help. But yeah, I kind of set up this gig with Guayaki with one of the reps in Santa Cruz, and so every month or whatever, if I a month or two, whatever, I go in and get a couple cases of Guayaki, some yerba, some goodness, and Skateworks has been my home sponsor, my main core sponsor for it's going on like 10 years now.
Yeah, not Bill's Wheels.
Didn't much love to Bill's. I just like see the thing about that is like I grew up in the mountains.
Yeah, and they had the shop in Felton, huh?
That's where I started, was the shop in Felton. And I mean, I went into Bill's Wheels was actually where I got my very first board. Like first board that my parents like I want to pick out a board, you know. It was rad. It was a Shorty's mini, and it had like a cop pig donut like standing on a fucking pile of donuts. It was tight. But yeah, Skateworks started in Boulder Creek, and I don't know, I could go on for days as to why I fucking Skateworks is the home shop, and I rode for him in one of my first sponsors, and I left and then rode for Santa Cruz Skate Shop for a while, and I did get some pretty awesome opportunity through that, but I came home.
Do you have any boards? Have you ever had a board made for you?
Never had a board made for me.
No? You should look into that, man. Try and get a board with you on it. Design a board for a company.
That'd be tight.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to Skateworks, like get a fucking shop deck, a Belo shop deck.
Yeah, dude.
But that's just fun.
What are your favorite skate shoes?
Fuck. I'm not wearing them right now, but Nike.
Yeah, they make a good skate shoe, man.
Bro,
those 6.0s?
The Janowskis. I actually been riding the same exact shoe for probably about 4 years now.
Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to, or like who are you riding with that like when you guys get together, like you're going extra super hard, getting super crispy with them?
These days, like, there's not I don't like necessarily skate with a lot of people, like at all. Growing up, it was always the CC, the Cracker Crew, the homies from Belo, like Nick Butler, Nicky B.
He's always good.
Chris Van Zanen, the Great Saltine. Fucking Garrett Frasco was one of them. Justin McMahon. And like for me, like they didn't need to be doing much like gnarly shit, but like I would get hyped, like just the energy, just like being around those dudes, like the whole Scotts Valley crew, all of those homies, like they all were such a big piece of like what continued to push me in skating. That's another thing. I'm getting older, so like all the homies aren't really skating anymore. So like, I don't know. I just try to push myself.
How about any competitions? Are there any notable entries that you've made?
Dude, when I switched from Skateworks to Santa Cruz Skate Shop, one of the first trips I went on with them was a Battle of the Shops. I can't remember who threw it, but it's down south, and that was tight because like that's when I first saw like so many pros. My mind was just like blown, dude. Like James Brockman, like Marquise Preston, like Figgy, like all these dudes are like all young and stuff, and it was so tight. I mean, I'm not a big contest skater. Like I freeze up, like I get nervous just doing this right now, you know, because I just like so. I think my personal favorite, there was a boardroom contest, like the Santa Cruz Boardroom did one of their local yearly annual contests, and for me it's just the ones, honestly, that I feel the best about are the ones where I felt the calmest, you know, where I like honed in my nervousness and like just skated and like didn't really care about winning or anything, and it's hard not to like not want to win at some point, you know, because it's nice to, I'm sure that's a great feeling. But for me, I had this run at the Tim Broch contest in Scotts Valley, and I can't remember, it must have been like probably 6 years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And I pulled every trick in my line, and I was just so hyped, and it felt so good. And then it came time for my second heat, and I totally botched it. And so it was like, fuck. So skating competition-wise, that was probably my favorite. Because like, I don't skate those anymore. Because it's just kind of too much on my head, mentally for me. I don't really like to compete, you know. But that one, I was like, For me, it's like all competing with myself to just center myself and not trip on all the shit going on outside, you know.
So what's next for you, Belo?
I mean, on the real, like, just to keep skating, you know, like, I'm kind of getting to an age where even sponsorships, whatever it is, it's kind of slowing down. Well, to be real, it has slowed down a lot, you know. Having a knee injury and just kind of years, almost 20 years, like, I'm not gonna stop skating. I love it too much, but just kind of just chilling, you know. What's next? Maybe get that varsity trip in. Maybe just travel some more with it not being the sole intent of skating. Kind of maybe pick up some other hobbies. It's been an obsession for so long, and I'm not trying to make this sound like an ender, but you know, that's kind of where I'm at in life right now.
What about like opening a shop or doing something that's not necessarily skateboarding, but skateboard, you know, influence?
Related?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Designing wheels or something.
To be honest, actually, I'm not even gonna bullshit this. If you want to know the truth, the way I absolutely feel about it is like I'm kind of an all or nothing person when it comes to skating. Like for me, it's just this like thing, this particular thing. I want to do it this way. Like I don't really have interest in being a team manager. I don't really have an interest in running a shop. I've worked at skate shops, and my brain just fucking, I can't stand it. Like the business aspect of it, it's like it's not me. So I guess if I was being perfectly honest, like no, there's just like to me there's like other things that I want to start experiencing outside of skating that you know I've like haven't done because all I've done is skate, you know. It's kind of exciting. It's taken some time to be stoked on that, but that's just kind of where it's coming to. And it feels good to, like, be okay with that. I mean, we're talking obsession, like, nonstop. I mean, shit, I do nothing but look at social media, skating all day. You know, it's like our baseball. It's like our football. We know the team, the players, we know the staffs, we know. It's fun. I love that aspect of it, but I just really don't see myself doing anything else in it, you know? I'm just being real, like that's just where I'm at in my life with skating.
Oh man, as long as it makes you happy.
Yeah, it's a trip. It's a trip to like slow it down mentally. It's hard, your body's telling you to slow. And I mean shit, like I could be eating turmeric and like doing yoga and doing all this stuff, but like maybe that would give me some more longevity.
Well, thanks for sitting down with me, man. It was, I know that we had some trouble linking up, but I'm really glad that we made some time and got you on the show.
Yeah, I'm hyped, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, dude, like you were a huge influence on me growing up skating, and like when I took all what I learned into snowboarding, you know, just not afraid to huck myself down stair sets or hit a box or a rail, you know, a lot of the skate culture and things that I learned from you, you know, kicked in. So you're a big influence on me growing up. And I appreciate you sitting down with me.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Word.
It's all love, dude. Thanks.